Hey, it's Kendrick with Technology Interpreters, and so today I want to walk you through TryHackMe Advent or Cyber Day 15. This should be a very quick one. I'm going to help you to get past a lot of the problems that I encountered when I did this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open our terminal and open a new tab on our terminal. And I want to get rid of my webcam so you can see it. So we just simply clicked on File, Open New Tab, and that gives us this new tab. And now that we're here, what you want to do is we're going to go ahead and copy this command, because essentially what they're explaining in the exercise is that this resume upload file that we're going to be doing here, and I'll show you the website that you're basically creating a website for. It's almost like a Santa HR application website, and in order to access it, which is right here, I'm going to copy the link here, put it in the clipboard, paste it, and then paste it. Then we should be able to paste it here. There we go. Perfect. All right. So now that we've got that there, you want to see we're uploading. And to sum up everything they're teaching in the exercise is that you want to filter by file extension, which is .exe, whatever. You should only allow extensions like .doc for Word documents or .pdf for PDF files. And second thing is you want to make sure that you're actually checking the file type, and so you can use this code to kind of check to see if it is a Word document or PDF in reality. Now these can be also simulated and spoofed, and that's what we're going to do, but you want to filter those out. You also, when the file is uploaded, you want to rename so that we can't run code to execute it later. But in addition to that, you don't want to upload the files into the same location where the website is hosted, the root, which is called the root of the website. You want to make sure you upload these to a location that's separate, and rename the file. So if you implement these security measures as well as scanning with ClamAV, it's a website scanning program for documents and etc. So you want to do those things to protect the attack that we're going to do now. So let me help you to do this, and let me help you get past some of the pitfalls. You do want to stay on track with what they're giving you. So the first thing we're going to do is we got this MSF Venom command. And what this is doing, this is creating a payload, and I'll explain what it does as I type it, okay? So first I'm going to go Control Shift. Well, I need to paste here first to make it available on the clipboard, and then I can just paste it here inside the program. We'll close that. So MSF Venom, the payload is going to be Windows 64 Interpreter. So this interpreter is used to work with Metasploit, which is a common hacking program, very common. But I can assure you that this MSF Venom file is going to create a file that's going to, when executed, which we're going to get them to click this file. So that's why we're making it executable. It's going to call back home to our server address, and our server address, which is the local host, and then on a particular port which you're going to specify. So we'll go ahead, and this is the only thing you need to customize. Don't change the name of the file. I've had issues with that being the case. Okay, so don't get fancy, change it to somebody's name .resume.pdf or .doc. Mine didn't execute, and I wasted about 2 hours of time trying to get that to work, even though it was right. Also, you notice in the exercise it references tunnel 0. Well, that's a reference to in Metasploit and these programs. You don't always have to like put your IP address. You can say ifconfig, and your IP address, you can actually put the interface name. So I will try the exercise the first time using ETH0, because that's my Ethernet port. This TUNL0 is if you're connected from your own virtual machine using the OpenVPN to try HackMe or Hack the Box or whatever. You can specify the actual interface name, and it'll translate that to the IP address. But for this exercise, you have to use the IP address, because mine, once again, with a lot of troubleshooting, it did not work. So let's go ahead and copy our local IP address, Control Shift C to copy, and then we'll replace the local host. Instead of TUN0, we'll actually Control Shift V and replace that with our IP address. And then we're going to change the port to the port that they use. We can change this, but just to be safe, we're going to say 4444. And it's going to be an executable or .exe file, but we're going to name it CV. TAC O is going to output the file name CV TAC username.exe. Press enter. This will take just a second to execute and create the file, at least, not to execute the exploit. Then we're going to copy this next line. We're going to open a new tab. I want to keep that open, okay? And that way we can reference it. I try to separate things when I'm going through these exercises. And the next step is we want to go to the clipboard, and we want to paste this command. That'll become available now with inside our VM. Control Shift V, and the same thing. Once again, we've got our IP address on this page, well, that page, one of these pages. All right, there's our IP address. So we'll copy this, Control Shift C, and then we'll now go to this page and we'll modify it. And the same thing, but notice that you're set the local host with a space. Okay, set lhost equals space, not equal sign. So the syntax is a little different. And we'll put the IP address and then set local port. And for the local port, they have semicolon listening port. You want to replace everything. It's the colon, and you want to replace that with space 444. And I know this doesn't 4444 is 44s, okay. And I know it doesn't format the best, but I just want to make sure you see that so it doesn't run off the screen. So that's how it should look. And when you do that, it's going to create a listener. And keep in mind, just so you understand that this is the payload that we use for this type of hack. There are multiple type of reverse TCP handlers. And so for this one, since this is one that's going to be mimicking an executable, we can also create a PHP file that we then, if they did upload these files to the root of the web server, we could upload this, it would be in the root, and then we can go to their website and actually call their website whatever file name .php. It would load the file and it would execute the file for us. So that's what they're trying to illustrate. They're avoiding in this type of exercise. So now that we have the file generated, and now that we also need to find out where's the file. Okay, so we're in /root. That's where we tried to create the file. And let's see, did it actually create the file? It is. CV username is in the root of our directory. That's typically not best practice if we really want to be in the home directory, but that's okay. You can use pwd to find out where it is. So now we'll go back to centers, and we're gonna execute. So right here we got desktop. We'll go to root, and then there's CV username, and we'll open the file, and we'll click upload. And this message is illustrating that the ELF is being a little cheeky, saying, hey, just want to let you know we store these files outside of the web directory, so you can't use those other type of attacks which I mentioned before. But just be careful when you're programming or anybody like that. You don't want to give feedback like this, because all you're doing is you're giving the hacker additional information, because you can actually use this output. The fact that it reads the name of the file and then outputs whatever file you upload has been uploaded, that's telling us that they don't rename the file potentially. And it's also telling us that we can try different type of injections to attack and use this output right here to let us know if the injection attacks are working. So let's go back now, find our way back to the screen with our handler. And so this is our reverse TCP handler. So now we just have to wait. It does take about a minute at least, maybe a little bit longer, but if you're waiting 5 minutes or so, something is wrong. Don't waste your time. It doesn't take that long unless, once again, something is broken with the exercise. All right, so I just got my interpreter prompt. This took about a minute, all right, for it to execute. So once again, if you've been waiting 2, maybe 5 minutes, I will wait no longer than 5 minutes, but you should now have this prompt. And I want to go to the exercise because I want to walk you through the answers. You can kind of see them already, but basically, here's how we get to these answers. So what is the title of the web application? If we go to our side menu, bring up Firefox, there's it. There's the name right there at the top, Center Sidekick. Unrestricted, this was at the beginning of your document. They asked you about the different types of file restrictions. So unrestricted and unrestricted file uploads. The unrestricted, so they're telling you what it is. So that first one is unrestricted. The flag, how do we get the flag? So this is where we go to our interpreter prompt right here. First thing we want to do is I typed dir first. This took a second because I got a lot of files, okay, and not the best approach. So what we're going to do is you want to do a get GTUID. That tells you who you're logged in as right there. So that lets me know that I'm the HR elf. That lets me know a little bit about the user. And also by looking at the file structure, I can kind of figure out, looking at the prompt, that I'm on a Windows machine. And I need to know where I am. So I do a pwd print working directory, and it's telling me, and this is Meterpreter giving me the option to run this command. That's not a native Windows command. That's Meterpreter letting me run these Windows commands on these Linux commands on the Windows machine, but it shows me on C:\Windows System 32. So I need to get into the HR folder of the elf that we're currently logged in as, which is HRF. So you can type cd space ... That takes you up one folder. We do pwd again. See, we're now in the Windows folder, and or you can do that again to get back all the way to the C drive, or you can type cd \, press enter, then type pwd, and that shows us we're at the root. Okay, so actually, I don't know if we did. Let's try cd ... again. I don't know if that worked. Okay, you need to do cd ... and we'll do pwd, and so now we're at the root of the C drive. We type directory, and it shows on a Windows machine, you need to understand how Windows directories are set up. C:\username, okay, and so our users. So now let's go to the cd users. Windows is not case sensitive, so we can do that. Directory, this gives us a list of all the users, and we see HRF, so we can do cd hr, and we can press the tab key. It'll fill it out for us. Type directory, and look at there, we got multiple folders, including looks like into user.dat information. Okay, and so we know we want to look in the documents directory, and if you look at it, this is just a lot. Don't get fooled because that scroll, this is all part of that directory command, and there's a documents folder, so we can type cd dock. That should be enough. docu, okay, there it is, and it tabs out. Press enter, type directory, and we look there, we got pictures and desktop, and we got flag.txt. This is Meterpreter does allow you to run cat commands, so we can say cat flag.txt and press enter, and it prints out the flag for us and a new Meterpreter prompt. Just keep in mind, this is the flag. Don't try to include the Meterpreter prompt right here. Okay, that's just the next line. It just said put it on a new line, and that's how we get that. And then it says, what defense technique could you have implemented to ensure this file type? And so once again, they're talking about file extension validation. What technique could you use to ensure that the threat actor cannot recover the file again by simply using the file name, and that's file renaming. And then of course, I told you about ClamAV. It's a scanner. So you basically are scanning these files for malicious activity, reverse shells, etc. That would have prevented that. And that's the end of this exercise. So I hope this helps. I hope you first of all enjoyed the exercise. And if it was, please don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll be back with day 16 and 17 really soon.